Hey guys, what is up? Avialence here, and I'm coming to you with my first Ghost Recon Future Soldier video. I asked the question what you guys wanted to see first on my Facebook fan page, and if you haven't checked it out, you probably should, because this came from one of you guys, a viewer who said, "Hey, Avi man, I want to see some Guerrilla footage." So, of course I'm going to give it to you. Here's a complete Guerrilla guide talking about everything you need to know for Guerrilla mode. I hopped on, went from 1 to 50, and took a ton of hours for you guys so I'd be able to talk to you about it. So let's get right down into it. And there's going to be different aspects of these things, and it's really going to be split up. I have clips for each of them, and I talk about every one of them. Basically, the tools for success. Now, the first of these tools for success is right off the bat. These are called stealth rounds. When you enter the map, you'll notice that your map on the lower right-hand corner is either blue or it is yellow. Now, what does this mean exactly? This means you're not detected. Enemies are not aware of your presence on the map. Now, with this, you are able to rock this map so long as you are not spotted. It's great, especially in the higher levels. Now, through my 1 through 50, we couldn't pull it off. There was always one little screw up, so it's not easy to pull off. But if you can pull off a stealth round without being detected, it'll leave you undetected. This means that enemies coming into the map will not come up with their guns raised. They'll walk around like patrols. Honestly, if you keep it stealth, it's an entirely different game. However, it's very hard to do and takes a lot of time. Prep, plan, make sure you're ready. Make sure you have a clear shot. In this clip, Deadman6 actually shot a hay barrel when he was trying to kill this guy with me, and it got us spotted. Stuff like this happens all the time, and they're tiny little glitches that you have to make sure you miss up. Now, with stealth rounds, it's important to have a silenced weapon too. You start off with one, as you see me using now, and you won't get others until around level 30. So keep the starting one so you can pull off successful stealth rounds in the first one, the level 10 one, and the level 21. There's one every 10 rounds in a change basis. So it's important to pull these off successfully, and very important to pull these off successfully if you want to have a much easier game.
Well, they know we're here now. 9 o'clock. Hostile down. He's down.
Alright, so now that we've talked about the stealth modes, let's talk about why the UAV and having a UAV pilot is so important. As you see here on the screen, I was the UAV pilot with these matches. Now the UAV is extremely functional. It's not a simple one like you saw in multiplayer. The UAV has a ground mode and an air mode. When in ground mode, if you remain still, you will actually be cloaked. You also have the ability to let out a sonic pulse, which is like a flashbang grenade that stuns all enemies around you. It makes things so much easier, and when coordinated and done right, you can actually help your teammate out a lot. Now, the UAV is so important because you can spot hostiles. Here, we're early in, it's wave 2, but you see I drop it and immediately start spotting hostiles. You do this using RB, and it's called the tagging system. Now, with the tagging system, your teammates can see these enemies through their augmented reality no matter where they are on the map. Makes things so much easier, especially for your team. They'll know who's where, why they're there, and also some of their armaments and stuff. I remember asking all 3 of my clan mates, hey, did the UAV help? Every single one of them said yes. And notice that you do still get points with the UAV via the tag support system. Whenever you tag an enemy and someone besides you kills that enemy, you will get a 100 score point bonus. Makes it so easy. Here, another clip later in the game on wave 10. I'm spotting out enemies, no problem, my team's taking them out. But the UAV does become obsolete. Now, what do I mean by this? I'm not that experienced of a UAV pilot. I know some of you will be able to train with this UAV and do it through all 50 ways. However, the more advanced your enemies get, the more they're going to want to shoot the UAV down. You have to play it smart. You have to be sneaky. You can't just fly around because they'll notice it. It's a pretty big UAV, and the enemies will try to shoot it down, as you can see going on here. The UAV can only take a few bullets, so you have to play it really smart. You saw here after I got spotted, I was kind of trying to duck in and out of the building and keep tagging people. But the slight machine gunner was just trying to mow me down. You have to be extremely careful with these things, and extremely careful with the UAVs overall. The ground mode's great if you just want to use it as a kind of a pivotable turret. This allows you to cloak. It's just like having active camouflage. And you still get all your functionality, plus a sonic pulse if enemies get too close to you. The UAV is a great tool and extremely useful, but very difficult to master past level 20. So I recommend you use the UAV and have one team member train to be the UAV guy, especially if you're going to do the harder difficulties in Guerrilla, because the UAV is absolutely necessary in this game. While it may not seem too important, in the get-go, it's very important because this gives you tactical data. This entire game is based on the idea of teamwork. Even in multiplayer, you want a UAV pilot. You want an engineer piloting the UAV. It's not just Guerrilla mode. Guerrilla mode's fantastic because you have all these abilities with your UAV and you can do a ton of work with it. It's always important to stay informed in this game. Information is power, and that's where the UAV comes in. So, if you're going to be a UAV pilot, I have a few tips for you. First, move quickly and act like you're a person. If you don't, you'll get shot down. And I didn't. I was still trying to learn the UAV in these first 3 waves. You're great for tagging people, however, you're not invincible. They will be able to spot you, and it's going to be very dangerous. Now, if your UAV ever does get damaged, you can restock from an equipment box. No problem. It'll repair it. Just redeploy it. I also found it extremely useful to put my UAV in position before the wave started. That way I didn't have to worry about flying it out there and trying to be all stealthy. I could just spot enemies right off the bat. So, UAV, important. Very important. Alright, remember that. UAV pilots, go. You help win the game, I promise. Anyway, now that we've talked about UAV, let's talk about resources. Alright, resources. Why are resources so important? Resources are the only way to keep your fire team outgunned and outdoing the enemy team. Every wave, there will be a Blackhawk that drops in 2 resource boxes. These resource boxes are equipment and weapons. Now, first off, let's talk about the weapon resources box. It is marked by red smoke and respawns up to 5 weapons every round. Now, these weapons will start out without attachments, without anything. That's why I said it's important to keep your suppressed weapon if you want to succeed in those stealth waves, right? Also, these weapons are completely randomized. You never know what you're going to get, but you just have an idea via the power of the weapons, right? At level 1 through 10, you're obviously going to get some pretty low-powered weapons without any attachments. At levels 10 through 20, they're going to up a bit. And as soon as they get into levels 40, you're going to be having guns flying through the roof that are going to be helping you out a ton. Equipment. Also with equipment, there are claymores, incinerator grenades, frag grenades, sensor grenades, and UAVs. If your UAV is ever damaged, simply just select a new one and it'll automatically repair. Also with these grenades, there's no limit to the stacks you can have. Stock up every time. Me and my buddy Deadman experimented, and we could stack up to around 200 sensor grenades by the end of wave 50 if we didn't use any of them. But these resources come in handy much later on, especially on the higher difficulties, and we'll talk about that later in the video. But be sure to take advantage of your resources and stack everything up. Alright, now I want to talk to you guys a little bit about special enemies. Special enemies come every 10 waves, and these can range anywhere between light jeeps with light machine guns. They can be tanks, they can be helicopters, they can be extra troops, and these things definitely need to be killed very, very quickly. Now, here in this clip, I'm actually being overdone by a helicopter. All the light flashes are rockets hitting the roof of the building. Now, helicopters are very dangerous in wide open areas, so it's always important to stay in a closed area. These can be taken out with wave streaks. Now, wave streaks are airstrikes, guided missiles, things that you control from Predator drones pretty much that are able to help take out helicopters. We also found out if you wait till the end of the wave and kill all the enemies, the helicopter will actually go away after all the enemies have been pushed back, and that's what we did here. Next, you're going to have light tanks, UAVs, BMPs, and they will be able to demolish you, as you see in this clip here. We had a BMP, and while you can kill it with frag grenades very easily, it's also useful to use a guided missile on this, which is one of the wave streaks, because they will kill you so quickly, as you just saw that BMP take me down. It ended up taking me down, it took Tay down, and it also took Turk down when he was coming over to try to heal us. So, they're dangerous. You have to watch for these things. These enemies will screw you over if you don't pay attention. So be sure to save your kill streaks for some of the bigger, more important guys. Alright guys, so one of the biggest and most important things about this game is necessary in Guerrilla 2. It is called sticking together as a team, working as a team. If you do not work as a team, if you do not communicate, you will not be able to do anything in Ghost Recon Future Soldier. This isn't Call of Duty. You must actually work as a team. So, be warned, talk to your teammates, and the same goes for multiplayer, Guerrilla, anything in this game. It's all based on teamwork. They gave you the perfect tools to do it. One of these is actually the Mark kill shot target. You and 4 other people can cinematically, silently kill enemies simultaneously so they cannot detect you. Now here I got a little too close and almost got spotted. Cloaking does not make you invisible, and a guy actually saw me through the iron gate. But these tools allow you and your team to, frankly, kick ass. You and your team are able to tear through so many people so quickly if you use this correctly, and it makes a hell of a big difference. And it's not only the kill shot. If you stick together, you can hold down a point so easily. Always communicate, always talk. Me and Turk were holding down a position, as you'll see here in a second, and we communicated the hell out of it. If you have a guy behind you, call it out. If you have a melee guy around you, call it out. If you have someone that's about to get down, call it out. If you get down, call it out. You got to communicate. Otherwise, nothing's going to work in this game. Tay just got me up right there. We're plowing through these guys, and he says, shield guy. I say, I'm going for him. I melee kill him. It's a cakewalk. As long as you talk to your teammates, you'll be able to hold down positions so much easier. My buddy Deadman was up there sniping. Me and Tay were holding this area down, and Tay was across his light machine gun mowing down anyone we called out. It is all about teamwork in this game, and if you do not conduct good teamwork, you will not be successful in any of the modes. Yes, including campaign. All based on teamwork. They have really great mechanics implemented. They have the tag and insta-kill system with the cinematic kill shots. They have the whole UAV system, which allows you to communicate with your people. They also have a suppression system, where with light machine guns, you're actually able to suppress enemies down while your teammates snipe them or move around them. It's ingenious, and it works so well. They've given you all the tools to conduct teamwork, and they wanted the game to be based off of teamwork, so use teamwork. That is all I have to say on that. Always use teamwork, and if you don't use teamwork, you're not going to have a good time with this game. It's that simple. Multiplayer, Guerrilla, campaign, if you do not use teamwork and talk to your friends, you're screwed, and you're going to hate this game. And honestly, I have no sympathy for you because it's all about teamwork. Maybe Call of Duty has messed with your head a little bit much because you can get 40 kills and whatever and keep going, but that is not how it is in this game. Talk to your teammates. Talk to your teammates.
I'm reloading. This is it, last mag.
Alright, so many of you guys are probably saying, Avi, but really, why do I have to save all my equipment? Why do I have to make sure I get the guns I want and keep them? Why do I have to worry about teamwork? Why do I have to worry about a UAV? Guys, I'm here to show you and commentate through Wave 49 and Wave 50 and tell you why. This is why you save your wave streaks every wave. These wave streaks are various things you get throughout each thing. You'll have a recon, which is a radar scan of the area. You'll have an infinite stealth, which will last for about 90 to 120 seconds by the end of the game. You'll have guided missiles, defense turrets, and guided airstrikes. Now you see that defense turret I just put down right there is tearing apart the enemy. Why do you want to save these though? I mean, what's the big thing? Why is this any different than the other ways? Guys, starting Wave 40, you're facing the bow dart. The bow dart are highly advanced Russian specialists equivalent to the Ghost's level of skill and stature. These guys have the most advanced weaponry, do a ton of damage, can take about half a clip of ammo per guy, unless you shoot them in the face, and are tactically cloaked the entire time, no matter how they're moving. You see here I swapped to thermal vision. Thermal vision is activated by pushing down on the D-pad. These guys will help you, I mean, the whole thermal thing will obviously help you see through the cloak. And you also have these guys who have shields. They have ballistic shields. They'll rush you. They'll come at you with shotguns. They'll throw grenades. These guys get ridiculous. Really ridiculous, especially on the higher difficulties. I'm playing on an easy difficulty here because I wanted to get you guys footage and stuff, you know. But it gets nuts. So, you know, that's how it works. Now, you see all of my guys, all these little dots across the screen. These are all the sensor grenades we've stocked up on. These are all the frag grenades and all the incinerator grenades we've stocked up on. And it makes these last 10 waves not a cakewalk. You have to play it smart, but it makes them easy to kind of walk through and everything. So I hope you guys have really enjoyed this video, where I'm going to keep playing Wave 49 and then the final Wave 50 and show you how easy it is, you know, when you actually save all these things. But it's all about teamwork. Guerrilla mode, a lot of people really don't give it the credit it deserves. A lot of people said it's like Gears of War Horde with nothing fancy and nothing new. And I disagree. It's like that, but it's built on teamwork. And teamwork is the only way you can succeed. Also, like I mentioned earlier, if you stealth through these waves, it's an entirely different game. It's like playing a original Splinter Cell kind of Splinter Cell-esque game, right? So you'll see here, you know, I have 30 claymores. I have all of these ridiculous amounts of gear, and these gear help you survive these last 10 waves. Because without this gear, it'll be a pain. It really will, and especially when you're trying to get those higher difficulties, it's going to be a pain. So save your gear. Save your gear. Now, a few closing remarks. There's a few tips I want to say. Throughout this video, you've seen me deal with multiple different enemies. One of these that's a big problem is the Riot Shield guys. The Riot Shield guys will start coming in the late 10s, so 12, 13. I shouldn't really say the late 10s. They're pretty early on. But these guys, honestly, I thought I could shoot through the shields, but there's two basic strategies to getting through them. One, they're always going to rush you. You can melee kill them instantly. You'll bash down their shield and crack in their skull. Easy. Just call it out to your teammates so they can cover you while you do it, because you will be exposed. Also, make sure you have Incinerator Grenades. This is where they come in handy. You can throw an Incinerator Grenade right on a shield guy, and it will catch them on fire, and they will die. So that is a big helpful hint. I already mentioned my tips on the UAV. Go back if you haven't checked those out. And I also talked about wave streaks a little bit. These are wave streaks you'll get every 10 waves, and by every 10 wave, I mean every wave. And these are airstrikes, guided missiles. You'll see an airstrike being used here by Deadman, and they help you finish these waves so quickly. So I recommend you save them at least to level 30 before you start blowing them. There's so many different ones. There's cloaking, there's radar scans, there's guided missiles, there's sentry turrets and airstrikes, but it's all there. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed this first little video, and if you guys have any other requests, remember to check out my Facebook fan page, because this did come from a fan. This video came from a fan. So let me know what you guys want to see. Anyway guys, I hope this helps you get your achievement and survive Guerrilla mode, and we'll talk to you guys in the next video. Take it easy. Thanks for watching. See you guys soon. Avi out.